Hello, my friends, and welcome to The Chew. I'm Robert Wallace. This is the place where we ask, are we choosing the way of Jesus, or are we choosing our own way? Today, we're going to be focusing on the way of Jesus begins with worship. When we consider the phrase, they missed the forest for the trees, or they missed the tree for the forest, you might get an idea of what I felt when we read this passage this past Sunday in church. Let's look again at Genesis chapter 4, verses 3 through 5. And I'll get to what I was talking about here in a moment. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. And Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked down with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering, he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Now, this is what I meant. Check this out. Cain and Abel here are involved, they're engaged in an act of worship. They brought an offering to God. Some of us forget that the idea of bringing offerings and tithe to God was established in the Old Testament. This isn't something new for us. Well, let's look, though, at how God gets to the heart of the matter. Cain and his offering, we see here in the passage that Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. That's in verse 3. Abel's offering consisted of fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock in verse 4. Now, please, let's not get confused here. God is not judging the offerings by comparing one to the other. He's judging their hearts in the offerings they brought. Cain brought what he considered to be good enough, while Abel brought the very best that he had that was available to him as an offering. Now, consider this, an observation by Jesus from Luke chapter 21, verses 1 through 4. As Jesus looked up, he saw the rich putting their gifts into the temple treasury. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 very small coins. Truly I tell you, he said, this poor widow has put more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she had to live on. Jesus is affirming for us today that God is not interested in the quantity of what we give as an offering. God is interested in the quality of what we give. He wants our very best as an offering to him. I invite you to explore these passages. Matthew chapter 15, verse 8. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 15. And 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 6 through 15. As you look at our foundational passage again from Genesis chapter 4, and you look at these passages that I've shared with you here today, ask yourself these questions. Am I bringing my best for worship? Do I realize how important my best is to God? Am I willing to give God my very best? Or have I been thinking that enough will do? The way of Jesus begins with worship, my friends, and worship begins in our heart. Which way are we choosing? Are we choosing the way of Jesus, or are we choosing our own way? I'm praying for you today as you explore these passages that you'll invite the Holy Spirit to give you eyes to see and ears to hear God's truth from His Word. That you will have a receptive heart and mind to receive these truths. And then, as the Holy Spirit lays on your heart to take action regarding these passages today, will you do so in a step of faith with the same boldness, commitment, and courage of Jesus? I pray that you will. What will you do today, my friends? I pray you'll have a blessed day. Go in the peace of God. Bye for now.